Amanda here from Create Your Future. Guys, we've got Othania joining us today.
Hey, guys.
And Jerry. Not just one. A lot of you guys asked where Jerry's been. Jerry's been here. He's been sitting over there the whole time watching, but he wants to be part of the video. So the videos are getting crazy because he's involved now and he's got a lot of weird ideas, but we're happy with that. So guys, we have a great video today on what to do when the 3D shows you the opposite. And Othania's got an amazing success story from one of her clients. Okay, so this video is for you if you feel like you've been affirming for a long time and things aren't moving, or you feel like the opposite of your affirmations are showing up. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you can change that and share a wonderful success story. Also, guys, right now, Othania is having 50% off. She is a law of assumption coach, and she is going to be able to help you find your blocks, give you personalized intentions and tools, and an action plan to speed up your manifestation. I really believe in coaching. I've done coaching my whole life. And, you know, the way I look at it is like swimming lessons, okay? You can get into a pool and learn how to swim by yourself. But if you have an instructor and you take swim lessons, it's going to be a lot quicker. I mean, they know how to teach you what to do, what not to do. I mean, you can learn the doggy paddle on your own and then slowly work up, or you can have someone teach you right away what the techniques you should be doing and not learn the bad habits right away, right? So for those of you that are new here, my name's Amanda. I'm an NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, certified life coach, and an EFT practitioner. And yeah, we do law of assumption videos to help you manifest what you want quicker in your life. And all of the coaches on this team are endorsed and backed by me. Coaching with them would be just like doing it with me, okay? So yeah, and Othania's got a course. It's basically a remove the third party course. And this course is going to speed up you removing the third party. Courses are really important if you like that kind of thing, because it gives you the time to actually focus on what you want. Because I think sometimes we just don't put enough energy towards what we want. As humans, we're sort of like geared to like look at what we don't want and give things meaning. We're like total meaning making machines, right? Something bad happens, our brain replays it trying to look for a solution, but the solution really is to shift your focus off what you don't want onto what you do want. And the courses and our coaching is basically a dedicated time for you to do that. So whether you're a course type of person or coaching, we're going to help you do that. We're going to, you know, talk about you for the hour or the half an hour or whatever you like, right? So anyways, guys, we also have a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. It's going to help you build your mental diet. Link in the description. So let's dive into this, Othania. I am so, by the way, guys, we also will answer your questions as video ideas if you put them in the comments. Just thought I'd say that up front. Anyways, go ahead. Jerry reminded me. He's like, don't forget to tell them. I'm like, just Jerry's.
So, yes. So, I have a client success story. One of my clients wanted to get back with her ex-husband, okay? And they haven't really been speaking a lot throughout the year. It was very sporadic. It was very sporadic and very periodic, right? But she wanted to get that more frequently. And she was starting to lose a lot of hope. So that's when she reached out to me for a coaching call. So I was listening to everything. She was telling me that was going on, and I was just literally picking out all the blocks, right? And I'm like, okay, I can see how we can turn this all around. So I gave her some affirmations. You know, we set the intentions, and she did that for about, I would probably say, a month. Because the next time I spoke with her, she let me know her progress and what she was doing. And then she started to let me know that she started to feel like she was losing the desire. Like she wasn't feeling like that much of the need for him anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is good. This is a good thing, because when you're feeling more neutral towards your manifestation and the person you want to be with, that's indication that you're shifting into the reality where you're actually the confident version of yourself with them. So our next call, so I think some time went by. Then our next call after that, she let me know that he actually did come back around. He actually came to her door, which she really wasn't expecting. She was expecting like just a regular text communication to come in. He came to her door. Okay, so we went from feeling like she couldn't get him back, to him showing up at her door. So what did she do in between to really make that happen, to get that shift? So we want to focus on, obviously she was seeing the opposite at some point, right? For her to feel like she needed the coaching, to feel like she needed some help to break through. She was obviously not seeing favorable things and not having the favorable experiences with him, right? But still, what I was telling her was that it's not much so like, oh, I have to completely ignore what's going on. Like, yeah, you want to ignore it in the sense of where you have to tell yourself the new story and not focus on what's going on. You want to implant it in your mind that you have to talk yourself out of the old story more than trying to get evidence of what's going on in the 3D reality. And once you focus on talking yourself out of the old story and you find yourself dominantly talking yourself into the new one, you lose the desire, because the desire is only coming from you not having it. And when you reach that point, then that's basically saying like, okay, it's indication of like new reality, new embodiment. And when you reach that point, everything just naturally and automatically shifts, because you have naturally automatically shift. But you have to, when we say ignore the 3D, it's like I said, it's literally just saying, talk yourself out of that old story, no matter what you see, until you believe your new story. And then it's just going to naturally shift with basically little to no effort on your part.
Well, exactly. So, I think of one other big thing to remember, that your 3D reality right now is just your old thoughts. Okay. Your thoughts from a minute ago, a week ago, a month ago. Okay. So if this is the way I look at it. Okay. So my subconscious mind is like a hard drive. Okay. And when I install a new program, right, so a thought process, it stays running in there in the background. Okay. That's how come you wake up and your house is still here. Your computer's still here. I still know who Othania is. I still got Jerry. Okay. Because my subconscious mind says you need to materialize Jerry in Amanda's like visual field every day, because he's supposed to be here. So all this is in play. He's sitting in play. Now, how do I change Jerry, right? I change Jerry, energetically by changing, acknowledging that story and changing him. So if you're seeing the opposite in your reality, this is really good. It's showing you what you need to change. You can speed up your manifestation by going, wait a minute, hold on. You know what? I want my SP to be with me, but they're not. They say they don't want a relationship. That's the opposite of what I'm affirming. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to start saying that my SP is over their baggage and ready for a relationship. You sort of need to get to the cause of how you're creating that. So sometimes you can just hit it with, I intend they're over their baggage and ready to be in a relationship, except, if your story is that, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds before I can get into a relationship. Okay, well, then your SP needs to reflect that somehow. Now you got to lose the 10 pounds. So what's the story about how you're creating what you're creating? Okay, so take a look at your 3D. If it's showing you the opposite, those are old thoughts. Also, how are you feeling? Okay, so many people, I can't even tell you how many times. I'm doing my mental diet. Are you? Okay, great. How are you feeling about your situation that you're manifesting? Oh, I'm anxious. Okay, well, you're not doing your mental diet. You need to change enough of your thoughts about the situation to not feel anxiety. And like Othania says, get to neutral. Okay. Now, the other thing, right, is you could be just seeing the opposite in your reality, because you say, I always see the opposite of my intentions in my reality. Okay. Again, that's what you're creating. That's what you're going to see. So here's a few intentions that are really going to get you on the right track. So basically, I always see my intentions and affirmations show up easily and effortlessly. I always see how my thoughts create things in my reality. I always see how people are like, I always get evidence of how everyone is me pushed out every single day.
Yeah. And excuse me. And it's funny, because even with a situation that's like not about a person, but it definitely relates to seeing the opposite. The other day I was playing pickleball with my friends, and I was like, and then we went to go out to eat after. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to get a drink. Tonight. And they was like, oh no, the bar that we going at, the place that we going at doesn't have a bar. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I know how this works, right? So I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, I'm telling myself in my mind, everybody's like, I don't know, we gotta go, we gotta get Othania a drink, we gotta go to another spot after. But in my mind, I'm like, I know how this works. I'm like, some way, somehow, it's gonna work out perfectly. So we get to the place, and I kid you not, we get to the place. It was a Brazilian spot that my friend usually she frequents, that she always goes to. And she says, this bar wasn't here last time I came.
Yep. Yep.
It was like they literally just had to put this bar here. And then
Yep.
in my mind, I was like, oh, yeah, that's just how it works out for me. So reality literally is shifting with your belief, no matter what that belief is. Even though they told me that the place didn't have a bar, I believe that it did. And when we got there, all of a sudden, the bar was built there that wasn't built there last time she went.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. This is exactly how it works. Exactly.
I was still amazed, even though I knew I did that, but I was still amazed because it literally amazes me every time, because it's just like, wow, this is really how life works.
I know, I constantly all day, I'll like Andrew will be doing something, playing a video game or whatever, because we share this video game we play, and I'll walk up, I'll think something and I'll say it. He's like, I was just thinking that. I'm like, of course you were. And in that moment, I'm like, you know what, Amanda, everyone's you pushed out. You got to watch your thoughts. They're constantly radiating out. If you want to change your life, you need to change your thoughts, right? And it's not, like Othania said, so much about ignoring it. It's about acknowledging it and changing it. Transmute it. Okay. If you don't like what you see, okay, I fine. I created that. That's fine. What do I want to see instead? And I'm not a big, I'm not the type of person that says, run from your SP. Okay. Like for instance, when I was dating Andrew and I wanted to move in with him, he said that he didn't want to move in with me. So I had a choice. Do I go into no contact? No, for me, that's reacting to what I've created. Okay, so my story, I had to change it and go, well, wait a minute. He does want to move in with me at some point because that's the type of guy he is. He's just not ready yet. I'm going to intend he's over his baggage and ready. And, for 5 days, okay, I was intending that, but I was seeing the opposite. We were going to look for condos for him. And he made it very clear that it was not for us. It was for him. And I was like, that's fine. I just accepted my 3D reality. And every condo we went through, he would ask me, and I was just like, this closet's too small. Thinking that because I'm thinking, where's my stuff going to go? Right. So I had this whole narrative going on in my head this whole time. I was like, okay, in the 3D, I will act like it's his and I will not insert myself. But when he asks me any questions, I will answer them from the point of view that I'm going to be living here with him at some point because I am. Okay. But I'm not going to say, oh, because I'm moving in later. I'm going to leave that part out. I said that in my head. And, and then I would ask the realtor things like, oh, does it have 2 parking spots? And things like this. Right. So, and it was 5 days of doing a mantra, which I'm going to plug. My course is going to teach you how to do a mantra, because that's the techniques I put in my course, How to Create the Relationship You Love, which is on sale, is how I manifested basically what the techniques I used to manifest my engagement plus my marriage. Okay. So my mantra was, Andrew's over his baggage, ready to move in with me because I'm good enough. And every time I thought about him, I did that mantra because those were my major blocks. Right. Anyway, so 5 days later, we were looking at houses that day yet again, and only for him. We decided to go for lunch. And I remember the exact pub we went to, and we're sitting there and we're looking at the menus, and we had just ordered drinks. And I remember I had a white wine, and he said to me, he was like, he puts his menu down and he's like, I thought about something. I'm like, what? He's like, I realized you're not crazy. I was like, okay, where is this going? And he's like, I do want to move in with you. And I was so excited. I had to go to the bathroom and scream and excitement. And I was like, oh my God, and then come back. Right. So, when you're faced with the opposite, okay, be the person that has what you want. Okay. So my story was, okay, he's not using me. He does want to be with me. He's just not ready yet. And that's okay. He's allowed not to be ready to move in with me. I could have, trust me, in that moment, I could have been like, that's it. You just want friends with benefits. Get out of here. You're using me. I'm going into no contact. But that's coming from the end of rejection, because your assumptions create, and you need to be the person that's assuming the best of the person and assuming you're going to get what you want.
And if Amanda would have reacted a different way, she wouldn't we would have been on a whole different timeline. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Maybe not.
No, like she wouldn't really probably be able to tell you guys that.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have had that particular story, but I mean, things would, you do shift who you are in your timeline and where you end up, right? So my timeline was very much being married to Andrew happily, and this is where I am now. And we've just celebrated our 2-year wedding anniversary, and we're so much in love. Both of us forgot about it until 2 days after our wedding anniversary.
So your reactions are definitely telling your world who you are, and they are creating those circumstances based who you are telling your world who you are.
That's
because
right.
It's you. It's you giving the commands. It's like no one else can give the commands for you. So Amanda, she obviously has to feel good enough for Andrew, which is why he then decided she's not crazy and that she can move in with him.
Exactly. Well, exactly. So that was a big part of it. So my major things was, so what ended up happening. So usually I don't have a self-concept issue in relationships, but what ended up happening was, I created any man that was previously married to have baggage and not wanting to be in another relationship because of being hurt. And then because of that, I felt rejected, which I asked, what's wrong with me, right? I took it personally. So when I created my mantra, I took all that into consideration. And then I even added what I wanted my end result to be. So I think this is very important, and to remember, I think, running off into no contact is definitely a reaction coming from a negative story. Like if it's friends with benefits, like forget that term even exists. You're not ghosted until you claim it and describe it and give it the meaning that you're being ghosted. Until then, it's just he hasn't texted you back yet.
Right. Even in my own experience, every guy that I've blocked and got upset at because I reacted that way, it took me more time to get me back, because even though I reacted that way, that's not really what I wanted. But if I would have affirmed enough of feeling good enough and within myself, I would have never reacted like that in the first place.
Well, exactly.
So,
right.
You have to get yourself to a certain point where you're just good enough in yourself without feeling like you need those things and your body is full of anxiety if you don't have it.
And faith in your thoughts creating. I think that is a big factor in not reacting as well. I mean, I knew not to react because I was like, well, obviously I manifested him being like this. Now I got to change it. It was more like, oh, you know what? I just wanted to have a good week, but now I got to do this work, instead of, the reacting and the emotional. I don't think there's any room for emotions in manifesting negative emotions. You got to be the observer of your reality because it's your thoughts that created it, nothing personal,
Right.
So I think that some great tips here that we've given people, about changing their reality and what to do when they are seeing the opposite and how to speed it up. So,
yeah, just accepting that you created it is like one of the quickest ways to start releasing resistance towards whatever it is that you feel you can't get to. So once you accept, like, okay, I created this, then your mind automatically starts thinking of ways to create better. And that's when things start shifting, when you dominantly start putting your thoughts towards creating better for yourself as opposed to what you were thinking before.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Othania. And Jerry, he listened. He's like, I'm going to stop reacting.
It's a while since I seen you, Jerry.
And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching our videos and letting us be a part of your manifestation journey and helping to change your lives. I mean, that's what we love to do here. And thanks for sharing. We've grown in subscribers so much. And I really do appreciate the support, and the giving back, because, you can watch every one of our videos and get all of our information for free. And so just sharing our videos means the world to us, that you trust us enough to share with your friends and families. So, and your other, LOA communities and stuff. So thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you guys. Bye.